Lumena got started from a concept that Mike Gray brought to Pappas Ventures. Mike was a venture partner with Pappas Ventures, and Pappas Ventures wanted to start a company, bring assets in, and put Mike as CEO. And so with the in-licensing from Cetaiogen some IP and the in-licensing of assets from Pfizer and Sanofi, seed funding from Pappas, and then ultimately impact from Rady alum along the way, the story of Lumena started.
I think when I first realized that Lumena was coming together, Mike says, I need someone to take care of everything. Kira was the first person that popped into mind. I'd met Kira back in 2004 on the Rady MBA, and Kira is one of these people who can take care of everything. So Mike met Kira, and the rest is history.
There's quite a few Rady connections to the Lumena story. The first would be Sean McCarthy. Sean was a transactional partner at Pappas Ventures, had worked with Mike previously and really helped to form kind of the strategy behind Lumena. Then I came along and helped Mike set up the Series A budget, putting together some clinical development plans, helping with in-licensing assets from Pfizer and Sanofi. Niall O'Donnell, he was a principal at Rivervest, and they came along in the Series A. So I got to work closely with Niall, doing due diligence and helping Rivervest get across the line to ultimately invest in Lumena. And then Kira Kennedy came on to actually work operationally for the team as a consultant and then ultimately as a full-time employee.
What attracted me to Lumena primarily was good people, good science, and good investors. And Niall and Sean are two of the people I trust most from our class. We had a fantastic class, but we worked very closely together during our program, and I really trust their opinions and their instincts around what's a good fit. And how has my MBA impacted my career? My career went in a completely different trajectory and direction after Rady, and I think the common factor for me, at least, two things. The network, the people I met, the people who were in my class, the instructors who taught us. I wouldn't have been at Lumena if it weren't for Rady, because I wouldn't have known the people involved.
So the Rady MBA has been transformational. I was a bench scientist, and now post Rady MBA, I'm a managing director at a venture capital firm. I can't imagine that would have happened without the Rady MBA. If you really jump in and think of it as almost like a vocation, you're making an active decision to do something very, very different with your life, especially if you're a bench scientist like myself, then good things will happen.
I think if you are an executive or anybody really who wants to make a transition to a different part of your business, a different industry, and you particularly want to do that here in San Diego, what an MBA and what Rady bring to the table is a deep connection to the community here. The life science, the high tech, the clean tech communities. And if you really want to kickstart your career in any of those sectors in San Diego, I think there's no better place than Rady.
When I hear the catchphrase "never start starting up," I mean, the first thing that springs to mind, certainly in San Diego, is Rady. Starting a company is important, and also getting a company to a successful conclusion, whether that's an M&A or an IPO, that's important. And I think the success of Rady has probably been, certainly in Southern California, second to none. I think given the fact that Rady is large enough to have a massive influence in San Diego, I'm quite confident when we look forward in 5-10 years from now and look back, we'll start to see the tentacles and the influence of Rady in the vast majority of the startups here, both on the biotech, IT, and clean tech sides. I think Lumena, Autonomy, Scalliard Pharmaceuticals are just the first examples of that.